Welcome to section 3.3 slope applications. There are going to be multiple parts for slope application. Our first part is finding slope from two given points. So in order to find slope from 2 points, you have to follow the formula. The first one is m equals y2 or y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now, you have seen other versions where it was m equal y sub 1 minus y sub 2 divided by x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So the order doesn't matter to me if you start off with your second y value on the top and the second x value on the bottom versus the first y value on the top and the first x value on the bottom. What's common between these two forms is the way how they are ordered. So y2 and then y1, x2 and then x1, versus on the second one it's y1 and then y2, x1 and x2. The only thing that's common is that they follow a specific order. So the second values, x and y, in our first formula comes first, and then the first value for x and y. Versus in the second formula, the first y and x values come first, and then the second y value and x values come second. So you just gotta make sure to follow the order correctly. If not, you will mess up and you will get the wrong slope. Next, we're going to be working on some examples when you're given two corner points. In this first example, we have our first corner point 3, 7, our second corner point 5, -4. So your first task is to label your x1, y1, x2, y2. So this will be my x1, y1, x2, y2. So now you can either follow the first or the second form, it doesn't matter to me. So I'm just going to use the second one. Again, it doesn't matter which form you use as long as you put the order correctly. So y2 come first, so -4, and then minus my 7 over my x2, which is 5, minus, and then x1, which is 3. So we simplify. -4 minus 7, that would be -11. 5 minus 3, that would be 2. I can't simplify the fraction because there's nothing in common between the top and the bottom. So my final answer for the slope is m equals -11 over 2. And that would be my final answer. And that's all you have to do. But when you have a fraction, always check if you can simplify. In this case, we cannot. So my answer, or my final answer, is m equals -11 over 2. In our second example, our first corner point is 6, -2. And then our second corner point is 3, -9. So we're going to first label our x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I'm just going to label according to my formula. So my first number, y2, is -9, then the minus, and then y1. So since my y1 is negative, what I'm going to do is, we still have this negative or minus from the formula, and our y1 is -2. I'm going to put parenthesis, -2, and then over my x2, which is 3, and then minus from the formula, my x1 is 6. Alright, so what I'm going to do is simplify the top with that minus negative. It'll be -9 plus 2, and I still have 3 minus 6. So I'm going to simplify the top. -9 plus 2 will be -7, and then 3 minus 6 will be -3. So I can't simplify the numbers because there's nothing in common, but I can still simplify the fraction because it's a negative divided by negative. So -7 divided by -3 will simplify into +7 over 3, which will be my final answer, my final slope, is positive 7 over 3. So in this case, we couldn't simplify the fraction, but we can still simplify the sign because we have a negative on the top and a negative on the bottom. When you have something like that, you must simplify and make sure it becomes positive if you have a negative on the top and on the bottom. In our third example, we have a first corner point 10, negative 2. Our second corner point is 4, 13. So I'm going to label my x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to follow this formula. I'm going to set it up. So on top it will be 13 minus from the formula. Now since my y1 is negative 2, I'm going to put parenthesis, negative 2, close parenthesis, over my x2, which is 4, and then minus from the formula, and then x1, which is 10. I'm going to simplify the top because we have a minus and a negative. So on the numerator, it will be 13 plus 2 over 4 minus 10. So I'm going to simplify the top, which will become 13 plus 2 is 15. And then on the bottom, 4 minus 10, which will be negative 6. Now I can simplify this fraction because 15 and 6 have a common number that they both can be divided by, which is 3. So I'm going to divide the top by 3, which will become 5. And then the 6 by 3, which becomes 2. But don't forget your negative. So I'll just put it in front of the fraction. So my final answer is m equal negative 5 over 2. And that will be my final answer. So I'm going to box this up. And again, my final answer is m equals negative 5 over 2.